it's Carly. Welcome back to High Country Homesteading. Today we're doing part 2 of our seed haul for the spring garden, and we have not 1, not 2, but 3 packages of seeds to open, and I'm very excited because a lot of these seeds are flower seeds, and although I'm very excited to grow vegetables in the garden this season, flowers truly have my heart. When we moved up here, now that we live in a much colder climate, we moved in winter, and the very first thing that I just craved and needed so much were some flowers and some color inside of my house because everything seemed so drab compared to what I was used to in Florida. So I am so excited to grow some flowers. That was the focus of my little tiny garden last year, was growing some cut flowers that I could put in a vase and make my kitchen look pretty and my house look happier. So we have a lot of flowers, not only for vases and for cutting, but also for bee pollination, because I want to make sure that my vegetables and fruits in the garden that require pollination can get as much done as possible, which I feel like was a pretty big problem in my spring garden last year. So I got a lot of things that I knew would be good bee pollinators, and I'm hoping that will help out this year now that we're going to be growing a lot more food. So I'm very excited to show you this haul. I have 2 companies. I have a little bit more from MIgardener, which is what the first seed haul was. So I'll leave my first seed haul in the description if you want to go back and check that out. All of those seeds were from MIgardener, and they were mostly fruits and vegetables. And then we also have today Eden Brothers, which is where most of the flowers are going to be coming from. So those are the 2 companies that I'm trying out this year, and who knows, I might do some different next year. We'll see how these go. But I'm excited to check these packages out, and let's get into it. So I know in my first seed haul, I talked about how we're not really a hot pepper family, and I know people go crazy for pepper plants, but we're just not. I bought some bell peppers and some banana peppers and not much else, but I decided to go ahead and branch out and try something else in case that I wanted to make something a little hotter. So I'm trying out a serrano pepper, and I'm also trying out this ancho grande pepper. So if we have room, we'll plant these. If not, we'll save them for another time, but I went ahead and decided to try these out. I also got another carrot, just the scarlet mantis carrot, because I know that's a pretty common one. It's supposed to be easy to grow, so we will try that as well, and it doesn't hurt to have more for succession planting. I'm also trying out this cylindra beet. I don't often eat beets. They're not something that I normally buy, but if I had them, I would probably run them through my juicer with some lemon or ginger, some greens, probably some apples. So I'm gonna try out beets because I know these should be pretty easy to grow, especially between things. They're a good space saver. And then also I'm going to do this green globe artichoke. I've been on an artichoke kick lately. It's not something I usually buy at the store either, but if I have them, I would love to eat them. So I picked these up, and we'll see how they go. I've never grown artichoke before, so I'm not sure if it's hard, but we'll find out, I guess. All right, so and I did pick up a couple of flowers from MIgardener. Most of them are gonna be from Eden Brothers, but I got a couple of seeds from them. The first one I picked up is borage, because I heard that borage is one of the best bee pollinators that you can have around. So I plan on planting this close to a lot of flower pollinated things. Like I'll probably plant some close to my zucchini and cucumbers, my squash plants, things with big flowers that need a lot of good pollination. So we're gonna try borage out this year and see if we can get a better yield on those things. I have a couple of different straw flowers. This one is called Purple Red, which is a nice deep purple color. This is Silvery Rose, a really pretty pastel pink. And this one's called Copper Red, so a nice fiery red-orange color. For snapdragons, I have 3 different colors here as well. I have this Apple Blossom, which is the nice peachy pink. I have a rose, which is what it says, rose colored. And then a white snowflake, which is just pure white. For zinnias, I did a very late planting of zinnias last year and they turned out nice, but they weren't colors that I absolutely loved. So this year I wanted to pick my zinnia colors and not just get what was available to me at my local box store. So for zinnias this year, I have salmon color, I have envy, which was a nice lime green, and then I also have this Isabellina, which is like a very creamy, buttery yellow. So I'm very excited to see how this one looks. And for the last couple of flowers that we got from MIgardener, I got this yellow aster. I got some pretty light pink carnations. And then I also got these dwarf purity white cosmos. I'm excited to grow some cosmos. I didn't do that last year, but I know they're really nice for filling out a vase. So I am excited to put those in my bouquets this year. I did pick up just 3 more vegetables from Eden Brothers. I did get an Alyssa Craig onion in my MIgardener haul, but I decided that I wanted to try out some more onions just in case I had room. So Eden Brothers doesn't have nice pictures on their seed packets like MIgardener does, but I got this ruby red onion. I don't use red onions often, but they're whenever I want one, I never have one. Same with this, it's called Evergreen White Nabuka, and I'll try to put up pictures if I can. But this is like a bunching onion, more like a scallion type, and that's also something that I never have on hand, and sometimes I would really like to have them, especially if I'm making Asian dishes or I want them on top of a soup, something like that. And then the last thing I got were these Brussels sprouts. These are called Long Island Improved. I think Brussels sprouts are more of a fall or a cool weather crop, so I might be saving them till then because I might honestly run out of room for all of these vegetables, but we'll see. So I grabbed these just in case because we've been eating more Brussels sprouts lately. All right, now onto more flower seeds. So this is from Eden Brothers. I got 2 different cosmos. I got one called Cupcake Blush, so it's mostly white, but a very, very light pink color. And then I got another one called Picoti, and this is a white and it has a really pretty purplish color that kind of outlines the border of the flower. So I think this one will look really cool. I got 2 different types of nasturtiums because I also heard that nasturtiums are really good bee pollinators. So I got one called Peach Melba, so a nice peach color, and also one called Spitfire, so a really nice bright red orange as well, which hopefully will attract hummingbirds and things like that too. I got some lavender seeds. I tried growing lavender last year. I don't know what I did wrong because nothing, and not even a sprout, came up. So I need to research that more this year, but I would really like to grow lavender. I think that would be something so nice just to smell and have in the house, and maybe even make some things from, who knows? Never done that before, but if I had some lavender, I could. I also got 2 packages of this blue sage, which I thought looked really pretty, and I didn't have a lot of blue flowers. There's a lot of pinks, a lot of purples, and a lot of reds so far, so I thought throwing in something blue would be really nice. And then one more zinnia package. I got these Old Mexico, which is another blend of some reds and oranges and yellows that I thought were really beautiful. And lastly, just some baby's breath because I am looking for more filler things to go in bouquets this year. So I always think baby's breath looks really nice. And then I got some larger items. So I got a couple of wildflower mixes because after my 2 flower boxes in the front of my house, all the spring bulbs go away. So I have, what do I have? I have daffodils, I have tulips planted there, and I also have hyacinth growing in there. So after those are done blooming and die back, I think I'd like to have something bloom there in the summer. So I thought putting just a little wildflower mix there would probably be something really nice, just an annual mix. So I have a couple of mixes here. I have, this is called the Country Garden Flower Seed Mix, which I think this is the one I'm probably going to use. So I got, this is 1/4 of a pound of it. So that will be nice to sprinkle on there. I also got this Bee Attractor Wildflower Mix. So I might sprinkle that around somewhere that I have room inside the garden. And then I've got this 1 pound bag of, it's called the Southeast Wildflower Mix. Now where I'm gonna use this is not in the garden actually. We mow a walking path around our 9 acres that goes from our house down to the road, just so we can kind of cut through the hay fields and have a place to walk down to the road that's just not on the gravel driveway. So our thought was to sprinkle this wildflower mix along the path all the way down to the road around the property, just to have a really pretty pathway. So this may work, this may not work, depending on how much rain, because that's not really something that I can water. So we're gonna try it out and see. It's just a wildflower mix, not too expensive, so we will see how that works out. And then 2 more items. I've got these ranunculus. It's called a 45 Days of Bloom Mix, and it's kind of just a really rainbow colored package. So I'm excited to check these out because I think that this type of flower looks so, so gorgeous. And then the last thing I have are these peony roots. They're the Jumbo Shirley Temple type. And I don't think I realized that these were going to come to me so soon. I think these were supposed to be planted in the fall, or at least back in December. So this was a kind of an oversight, but I really, really want to do peonies this year. I tried planting peony bulbs last year. Clearly, it was far too late because I didn't do that until probably April or May. And I didn't know what I was doing. And so they didn't come up at all. So I'm thinking maybe that I will get this into a pot and maybe put it in a cool place, maybe down in my basement in front of a window, and see if I can get these peonies to grow, because that would make me so, so happy this year to at least start some peonies. I think they're one of those kinds of plants that really don't do well their first year, but come back with more blooms the next year. And I think especially by year 3, they're supposed to be a lot better. So we're gonna try it out and see, and we may get peonies, we may not, but at least I'll try. All right, well that is all the seeds that I have physically right now. But the last thing I wanted to talk about are a couple of flower items that aren't gonna be shipped to me until the spring, because they're roots in bulbs, which, like I said before, can't really sit around and wait to be planted. There's something that need to be planted in the ground right away. So I have a couple of those that are gonna be coming to me in a couple of months, and they usually get shipped by your zone. So according to what zone you are is when they're gonna ship them to you. I'm probably gonna get these sometime in April. So those things that I'm missing are, I have some Lily of the Valley roots. I have gladiola bulbs, and the color is like a smoky purple, which I thought looked really, really intriguing. I have some lily bulbs coming to me. They're called a double romantic mix, which I thought looked really beautiful. Lots of pinks and purples, and I'm very excited for those. And I also have 2 dahlia bulb mixes. I have something that was called Strawberry Fields, which I thought just looked stunning. They're like a dusty rose color and a nice pretty pink, and I thought they looked super romantic. And then the other was called Antique Blush, and it had some really pretty pinks and some like deep burgundy colors in there as well. So I really hope those work. I tried doing dahlias last year too, and same as the peonies, I just failed miserably. I don't know if the bulbs had just been sitting in the store for way too long. I just grabbed whatever they had. So we're gonna see if that works out this year, and I really hope it does. I'm gonna study and do my research and hopefully be a better steward of those roots and bulbs. So we will find out. But the last 2 things that I need to get are potatoes. So I need to order sweet potato slips, which is something I, again, don't think is going to come to me until I'm ready to plant them in the spring. And then I also need seed potatoes. Haven't purchased those yet, but I'm thinking probably some kind of Yukon Gold, maybe a red potato. I don't really need red potato. And then probably a russet. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a potato patch. I'm thinking that I'm going to try the technique where you throw them on the ground, you don't bury them in the soil. I believe it's the roots out technique, and then you just kind of cover them with straw. I believe that's what I'm going to be doing, and I'm not exactly sure how big the patch of land is, so I don't think that I'm going to need a ton of potatoes. We're just gonna experiment and try it out. So those are still the two things that I need to get, but otherwise I think I'm pretty set on everything else, and I'm very excited. So the next seed video I'm going to do is showing you how I'm storing all my seeds, and then I'm also going to show you the spreadsheet that I'm using because I'm a very analytical person. So this is what I feel like I need to do in order to be organized. I have a very good spreadsheet going of all information about the seeds. So when they need to be planted, the timing, according to my last frost date, and the depths they need to be planted, all that good stuff. So I will share with you how I'm doing that and how I'm planning all my seed starting, and I'm very excited to do that. So stick around, that is coming up soon, and I thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.